Stop begging. Start leading. The truth every man must hear. Hello and welcome. Before we go any further, take a breath and be honest with yourself for once. Have you ever felt the knot in your stomach when a message sits unread and your mind rushes to fix a problem that does not even exist yet? Have you ever noticed how you change your tone, your plans, your boundaries, just to keep her happy for one more day? Have you ever given and given until you did not recognize the man in the mirror anymore? If this is you, you are not alone. And if this is you, subscribe now, because this channel exists to rebuild the kind of man who leads with calm power, not with panic. Most men do not hear the truth until it is too late. The truth is simple. You are the prize, not because anyone else is lesser, not because you seek to dominate, but because value in real attraction is measured by power, purpose, and emotional steadiness. Somewhere along the road, the story flipped. Men were trained to chase, to prove, to perform, to ask for permission to be chosen. They were told leadership is oppressive and masculinity is toxic. So they walked into relationships like applicants hoping to be approved. They traded their standard for her approval. They traded their presence for performance. And the price was their respect. Here is what no one told you. A woman wants to feel your presence without you filling the silence with bragging. She wants to feel your protection without aggression. She wants to admire a man who does not kneel for validation. When you act as if she is doing you a favor by being with you, you lose that presence. You lose the polarity. You lose her attraction. She might stay, but the dynamic shifts. Now you are the emotional beggar and she is the chooser. She holds the frame and you react within it. Power matters in every relationship. If you do not set the tone, she will. Attention is not love. Do not confuse curiosity with commitment. Early replies, quick laughs, warm sparks can feel intoxicating. But attention costs nothing. Some people offer it just to keep you around. Not to build with you, but to enjoy the feeling that you want them. If you mistake attention for love, you will pour time and loyalty into someone who never chose you fully. You will orbit a center that was never yours. Real love shows up with consistency. Real love invests when the excitement fades. Real love grows when things are not easy. Measure patterns, not peaks. Power shifts when you beg. The moment you beg for her time, her attention, or her affection, you surrender your frame. Neediness is not devotion. It is insecurity dressed as romance. When you beg, you declare that she holds what you cannot live without. That message erodes your value instantly. She does not need to earn your presence because you already promised it, no matter how she behaves. You trained her to take you for granted. You taught her that your standards are negotiable. Respect cannot live in that environment. Emotional control is attraction. A man who cannot hold his center becomes a liability, not a leader. This is not about suppressing feelings. It is about mastering them. Feel deeply, but do not fall apart. Pause before you react. Choose silence over spirals. Respond with clarity instead of panic. If your emotions control you, anyone who can trigger those emotions can control you. Build your body, your mind, your income, your mission, and you will have less time to spiral and more strength to lead. She tests to find a leader. Challenges, mood swings, small withdrawals, and difficult questions are not always hostility. Often they are instinct. She wants to know whether you stand on something solid or whether your values fall apart at the first sign of tension. If you react by pleading, apologizing for what you did not do, or abandoning your standards to keep the peace, you fail the test. If you remain grounded, if you choose her without needing her, if you keep your rhythm when her rhythm changes, you pass. Trust follows leadership. You are the prize when you have built yourself. When you are emotionally strong. When you are disciplined. When you can walk away from disrespect without a scene. When your identity does not depend on her reaction. Rare men are valuable. And valuable men do not beg. They choose. This is not an attack on women. This is a call to men. Stop living like you are lucky to be in the room. Start living like you are responsible for the room you carry within you. Subscribe if you are ready to reclaim calm power. Because the journey starts here and it starts now. Think about this carefully. Why do so many men, even strong men, end up anxious, restless, always wondering, what does she want now? Why do they walk on eggshells? Fearing that one wrong word or one wrong silence will cost them the relationship. The truth is, they surrendered the power from the very beginning. They handed over their crown in the hope of being chosen. Let me be clear, this is not about arrogance. This is not about demeaning anyone. It is about balance. Real attraction is not built when one person begs and the other decides. Real attraction is built when both bring value, when both bring strength, when both show up with stability. But too many men confuse stability with servitude. They think if they work harder, flatter more, sacrifice their standards, they will win her heart. What they do not see is that every extra step taken from insecurity pushes her further away. She does not want a man who gives up his life just to orbit hers. She wants a man who already has a life worth sharing. She does not want to be your mission. She wants to join a man who already has one. That is the core truth. Think of the man who cancels his plans every time she calls. The man who sends message after message when she has not replied. The man who says, "You are out of my league," thinking it sounds romantic. What happens? He kills the mystery before it even begins. He signals that he is desperate, that his value depends on her attention. And the moment she senses that, the attraction fades. Contrast this with the man who is calm, focused, and grounded. He notices her beauty, but he does not collapse under it. He speaks with her, but he is not trying to win points. He is observing, asking himself, does she align with my vision, my peace, my values? He is not desperate to be chosen. He is discerning about who he lets close. That energy is rare. That energy makes her lean in. And this is why society's script is dangerous. From the time boys are young, they are told to impress, to flatter, to chase. Movies glorify the man who sacrifices everything just to prove himself worthy of her love. But in reality, that script flips the balance of power. It trains men to believe that unless they beg for approval, they cannot win. And the cost of that mindset is respect. Respect is not demanded. Respect is attracted by presence, by discipline, by calm power. A woman does not respect a man who is always available, always adjusting, always pleading. She respects the man who moves with intention, who stands tall in silence, who does not need to be chosen to know his worth. This is not just about dating. It is about life. When you chase approval, whether from a woman, a boss, a friend, or society, you lose yourself. You become reactive. You live by their validation instead of your own vision. And when that happens, you stop leading. You start following. Now here is the painful truth. Once you have given away that power, it is hard to take it back. But not impossible. You need to remember that you were valuable before she came. You will still be valuable if she leaves. Your worth is not written by anyone's acceptance. It is written by your discipline, your purpose, your strength. So let me ask you this. Have you ever given away your power just to keep her around? Have you ever begged, apologized for things you did not do, or abandoned your own values just to hold on to her interest? If you have, this is your wake-up call. You are not supposed to beg. You are supposed to build. Let me paint two pictures for you. The first man walks into a party. He notices a beautiful woman across the room and rushes over immediately. He buys her a drink, laughs at every joke, showers her with compliments, and gives her all of his attention within minutes. To him, it feels romantic, like he is proving his worth. But to her, it feels predictable. She smiles politely, but deep down, she already knows. He is not rare. He is just another man trying too hard. Now imagine the second man. He also notices her, but he does not rush. He is social, calm, enjoying conversations with others. He is relaxed, not desperate. When their eyes finally meet, he does not flatter her with empty words. Instead, he asks bold questions. He holds his frame. He listens more than he talks. He is choosing whether she belongs in his world, not begging to be included in hers. And that difference intrigues her. She is curious. She leans in. Here is another story. A man meets a woman at work. She compliments him often. They share coffee breaks, and she texts him at night. He feels seen. He convinces himself this is love. But she is also dating someone else. With him, she enjoys validation, a safe listener, a source of attention. He becomes the emotional boyfriend without ever being chosen. And he does not notice. Because he confused her attention for her love. One day she pulls back. She takes longer to reply. Seems distant. and says, "I am just busy." He tries harder, thinking more effort will bring her closer. But she was never fully invested. She only gave him sparks, never fire. He mistook curiosity for commitment. And when he realizes it, he feels used, not because she lied, but because he ignored the signs. And maybe you know that feeling. The long nights staring at your phone. The way you bend your plans, your standards, even your dignity, just to hold on. You are waiting for love, but all you receive are crumbs. And you keep telling yourself that if you just do more, give more, sacrifice more, it will work. But it never does, because love is not born from begging. This is the hard truth most men avoid. When you beg, when you overpursue, when you build your world around her, you train her not to take you seriously. You become tolerated, not respected, and one day, you wake up and realize you are invisible in the very relationship you fought to keep alive. But the opposite is also true. When you stand firm, when you choose instead of chase, when you control your emotions instead of spilling them everywhere, something shifts. She feels it, she respects it, she stops testing you to see if you will collapse and starts trusting that you will stand. So how do you flip the script? How do you move from being the man who begs to the man who chooses? From the one who chases attention to the one who commands respect? The answer is not in games, manipulation, or arrogance. It is in discipline. The first step is to stop chasing and start choosing. Chasing says, "I hope she wants me." Choosing says, "Let's see if she fits into my life." That shift alone changes everything. When you chase, you hand over power. When you choose, you hold your ground. Remember, a queen is not chosen because she is simply beautiful. She is chosen because she aligns with the vision of the king. So build your vision, build your purpose, and then invite someone to join it, not define it. The second step is to separate attention from love. Do not mistake fast replies, sweet words, or fleeting sparks for commitment. Real love shows up steady. It invests when things are not fun. It sacrifices when things are hard. So watch for consistency, not intensity. Ask yourself, is she building with me? Or is she just entertained by me? The third step is to protect your power by never begging. You can express what you want once. You can set a standard clearly. But if it is not respected, walk away with dignity. Never trade your crown for a scrap of affection. Begging does not inspire closeness. It signals weakness. And no relationship can thrive where one person is tolerated instead of respected. The fourth step is mastering emotional control. This does not mean you suppress your feelings. It means you govern them. When she tests you, hold your frame. When life hits you, remain steady. When you feel insecure, pause before you react. Emotional control is rare, and rare is attractive, because if your emotions control you, then anyone who can trigger you owns you. But if you control yourself, no one can steal your peace. The fifth step is to embrace her tests as opportunities, not threats. She is not always trying to destroy you. Often, she is searching for proof that you are solid enough to lead. When she challenges you, do not fold, do not panic, do not abandon your values to keep the peace. Stay grounded. Show her that you can love without losing yourself, care without crumbling, lead without dominating. That is when trust is built. And finally, the core principle: you are the prize, not because you are above anyone, but because you have built yourself into a man who is disciplined, purposeful, emotionally steady, and selective. Rare men are valuable, and valuable men do not beg. They choose. So stop giving away your power at the start. Stop acting as if her presence defines your worth. Build yourself until your presence defines the room. Then, and only then, decide who earns the right to walk beside you. Now let me leave you with this. Everything we have talked about today is not theory. It is a call to action. Because if you do not change the way you see yourself, the world will keep training you to kneel. It will keep convincing you that love means losing yourself, that masculinity means weakness, that begging is romance. But you know the truth now. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So here is your commitment. No more chasing, no more begging, no more confusing attention with love. From this day forward, you choose, you build, you lead, you master your emotions, you accept her tests as opportunities to show your strength. And above all, you carry yourself as the prize you already are. Because when you live this way, everything changes. The attraction shifts. The respect grows. The peace returns. Ask yourself right now, have you ever given away your crown just to be accepted? Have you ever lost yourself in the name of keeping someone else? If the answer is yes, then this is your wake-up call. Take your power back. Reclaim your center. Stop apologizing for existing. And I will tell you this. The moment you stop begging, the right woman will see you. The moment you stop chasing, the right woman will choose you. The moment you master yourself, the world will respect you. Because confidence is not in words. It is in presence. And presence is everything. So to every man watching, make the commitment right now. Do not live like you are lucky to be in her world. Live like you are the foundation of your own. Because when you do not chase, you attract. And she knows it. Subscribe now if you are ready to rise. Ready to reclaim the discipline, the calm power, and the vision that makes you rare. Share your story in the comments below. Tell me where you have given away your power, and how you are ready to take it back. I will be reading. I will be responding. Because this is not just a video. This is a movement. This is your moment. And it starts now.